Hello, hello, hello. It is indeed coffee time. We're here again, everybody. We're here again. Apparently, I don't know if you've noticed that there's a World Cup on. It's in Qatar. Yeah, it's very hot there. Apparently, I've heard, right? I don't know if you've heard. I've heard that the Qataris sound like a brand of video console. The Qataris, they don't like homosexuals. It's true. And our football team, the England team, they wanted to show their support for people who, like same-sex relationships by wearing a rainbow armband. Seems reasonable. But FIFA have intervened. And they said, no, you cannot wear a rainbow armband and you will get yellow carded if you wear aforementioned yellow armband. I don't think they're allowed to take the knee either. Oh God. And so they're playing today and everyone's going to be watching to see if they wear the rainbow armband or take the knee and get yellow card. Of course, we know they're not going to do it because it's all bandwagon jumping, isn't it? They don't really mean it when they take the knee. It's good for business, isn't it? It's good for business. It helps them with the sponsorships. Of course, there will be people in the team, people of colour, that it does mean something to. But for the majority of them, they're just doing it because it's the fashionable thing to do. And it's the same with the little rainbow armband. Because if England, the team and the nation, our great nation, if we really believed in any of this stuff, we wouldn't be playing in the first place, would we? If we had an issue with Qatar and its human rights issues, and again, this is an Islamic country which has different values to us. If we had real issues, we'd boycott. Like we had the sports boycott in South Africa in the 80s, over apartheid. We'd boycott it, wouldn't we? But we don't, because money. Because basically that's it. It's all money. And David Beckham was criticised by comedian, that feels better, Joe Lycett. I'm not a fan. I like my gay comedians more in line with the Julian Clary approach. Big fan, Mr. Clary. Good to see him on that Friday Night Live thing that was on recently. Was it Saturday Night Live? I do not remember. I'm old. But Mr. Lycett, he did a little protest where he supposedly shredded £10,000. Now today he's saying that no, I wouldn't do that. It was all a fake. It's all a stunt to get people talking. And yet all people are saying is Joe Lycett's an idiot and was flaunting his wealth. There are other ways of raising the profile of this issue. Like he could have actually gone to Qatar and, I don't know, kissed a man outside the stadium. But he wouldn't do that. He excused himself by saying, well, I'm famous. Look at me. They wouldn't arrest me. They'd arrest my handlers instead. And they'd get into trouble. So I'm not going to protect them. Which you go, well, wait a minute, Joe. You could go on your own. I'm sure you could book your own ticket. And you could, protest outside the stadiums and see what happens. Peter Tatchell, again, he's a campaigner I'm not always in agreement with, but he went there earlier and was arrested. And this is somebody that has gone to countries, again, he's been arrested by many regimes. I think under Mugabe's regime he was arrested for protesting. And he has the courage of his convictions. And what we lack in this world are people to have any courage of their convictions. Now, in the old days, people used to die. They used to die for their convictions. But now they're more likely to, glue themselves to a motorway or throw soup around in an art gallery. And that's the limit of their conviction, i.e. it's nothing. There is no sacrifice because nobody is willing to make the sacrifice for their beliefs. And so we have this stuff shoved down our cake holes, our media cake holes, daily basis, and nobody not really. Oh, I'm protest. No, you're not. You're not protest. That's not a protest. That's not raising the profile. It's just it's raising your profile. So the England team raising their profile. Joe Lycett raising his profile, and that's how cynical it is, And I've gone on. I've gone on for 5 minutes about one story. But yeah, I am not watching the World Cup. I am boycotting it myself. It's the least I can do. I mean, this will be the first time I haven't followed the World Cup since, even as a kid, And I'm not a big football fan, but I do always dial into national sporting events, whether it's the Olympics or World Cup or even, mind you, I've kind of let Wimbledon slide over the last few years because of the dominance of certain players. There's no real variety of player out there. But yeah, so I won't be watching the football. So don't tell me the scores. I don't want to know. Dramatic, like it's going to make any difference. It isn't. And then you've got the whole you can't drink, it's a dry country, etc. whatnot. Now, have you been watching I'm a Celebrity? Now there's a race row because the first two contestants out are both ladies of colour, Charlene White and Scarlett Douglas. Again, we noticed it at home. Again, I thought Charlene White was great in it. She's a newsreader. But I knew that, you read the media coverage and they say, well, she's not popular because she's a bit domineering over the cooking. But, Scarlett Douglas was out last night and we was all shocked because she's, a very positive member of the team and did great on the task last night. And we were shocked. I was expecting it to be, I don't know, maybe Boy George or Chris Moyles, but yeah. But I think this does happen a lot on these reality TV shows. I don't watch a lot of them. I'm only watching this because Matt Hancock. Again, what I feel sorry for, Charlene White and Scarlett Douglas, is they're going to need therapy. In fact, anyone who leaves leaves before Matt Hancock are going to need therapy for many, many years because they're going to wake up sweating in the middle of the night thinking, I'm even less popular than Matt Hancock, And again, the revelation, because again, Matt Hancock went on the show to promote dyslexia, his dyslexia charity or foundation or whatever it is, because he's dyslexic, he revealed. And then you sit there and you go, look, I know it's a bit remiss to me, to mention this, but I know this guy's dyslexic, and issues like this shouldn't hold you back. But I imagine at the height of the COVID thing that there would be a lot of documents being read, and would he, with his dyslexia, be able to sift through all this vital information, or does he have a handler who does it for him? Because it could explain some of the bizarre decisions and are made. And imagine if the cabinet is made up of a dyslexic, a sexaholic, an alcoholic, You can see why we're in the trouble we're in, can't you? Because he's not focused on the job at hand. But I do wonder if Hancock had help. And again, this is serious. Did he have help? Did he have a handler that read all his documents for him and, broke it down for him? Or was he just allowed to go, I've read that, and make decisions on, I worry. Did he have the support? We need to know. We really need to know. So there you go. So what else have we got here? Drivers are being warned that they face £1,000 fine for not turning their headlights in bad weather under a little-known highway code. Now the missus, I'm looking at you, missus, she's obsessed with her lights. She goes, she'll have the lights on. And I always say, well, what would the Romans do? So if everybody else has got their lights on, turn them on, because you don't want to be the motorist with the lights on, and everyone's going, look at that knobhead. They've got their lights on. It's not dark enough. But it's a bit of a murky day. I mean, it is daylight. It is lunchtime. Just gone 1 o'clock. But it might as well be the middle of the night. So yeah, turn your lights on. Electric cars. If you have your lights on in electric cars, does it mean your battery runs out quicker? Don't know. Terrible that. Meanwhile, warning over mortgage time bombers. Homeowners face biggest hike ever. Yeah, typical monthly interest payments doubling to £474. That's an extra £2,851 a year. Blimey, how big are their mortgages? Again, I'm hoping we can get a good deal next year. Good deal. That's what we want. That's what we want. Now there you go. Bruce Lee. Who remembers Bruce Lee? Do you remember him? Now, I was talking about construction of jokes with Herb last night. You know, what's round and green and does karate? Bruce P. There you go. That's how you construct a joke. But Bruce Lee died. Blimey, a long time ago, 50 years ago. And a new study thinks that he may have actually died from drinking too much water. And it caused the mystery swelling in his brain that killed him. Yeah. And I mean, there have been many rumours of what happened to him. Taking painkillers, being poisoned by a jealous lover. But yeah, the Clinical Kidney Journal, that's not one we normally read, but the Clinical Kidney Journal proposes that his kidney's inability to excrete excess water killed him. So there you go, and here is a picture of Bruce Lee. Oh, do you remember when they were all, what was it, Way of the Dragon, and and that, do you remember those big, weren't they, in the 70s? Everyone was kung fu fighting. I won't do the song. I know you want me to do the song. Carl Douglas, I know you want to. Shall I? A little bit. Oh, oh, oh. I'll just do that bit, just because I love that song. One of my favourites. Meanwhile, in Qatar, Argentinian reporter Dominic Metzger was broadcasting from the Cornish area of Doha during the build-up to the first match, and she was actually robbed while she was doing her outside broadcast. She said, someone opened her bag zipper and took out her wallet. They're just being friendly. Just being friendly. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, so there's a lot about this, you see. And Morgan Freeman, he opened it. He opened the World Cup, but we didn't see it because it wasn't being broadcast on terrestrial television. You had to watch it via the interwebs. Can't think why. Oh, that's not a good story. Can't read that one. That's a horrible story. It's about the war and what's going on. So, we're going to court news, and this is Gemma Whiteside. Something for the dads there. And why is she in court? Well, she's a Manchester City fan, and she's been convicted, right? She's been convicted of groping an Everton fan during a Premiership clash. The 40-year-old had been drinking heavily when she grabbed a man's genitals and twerked against his shoulder shortly before the kick-off, saying, "I'm gonna F him later," and I don't even know his name. Obviously, he got a bit scared and reported it. She's been found guilty of this, and she could be jailed and placed on the sex offenders register and banned from all football grounds. This incident occurred in February when she was at the Goodison Park to see City end up beating Everton 1-0. The mother of 6 was convicted of sexual assault at Sefton Magistrates Court today after a trial. I don't know. I mean, issues in a favourite top, I guess. I don't know. I mean, men these days, I think it's been a little bit, I'd be flattered for the attention, to be honest. I'd be flattered. People say, "Oh, you can't make jokes about these things," but come on, you've got to be flattered. She was drunk. She was drunk. But yeah, don't grab people's genitals and twerk against them, ladies. The victim claimed Whiteside put a hand between his legs and cupped his testicles, and then rubbed her bottom on his shoulder. In the old days, that would have been seen as a come on. Times have changed. Times have changed, haven't they? Oh boy. So I guess we'll be going back to that story to see what happens. Hopefully, the Daily Mail will run that story again so we can find out what happens to her. Blimey. Meanwhile, Balenciaga is slammed, but it's a fashion brand. Yeah, the Spanish fashion brand is under fire. Why? What's it done? Well, it's got on its online store, it's featured these pictures, and it's a small chart, but it's the bear you need to look at. The bear, if we can zoom in, I don't know, can we zoom in? Whoops. Is they reckon it's done out in bondage gear. Is that bondage gear? I thought it's more of a punk bear, isn't he? Because isn't that punk? I don't know, but apparently mothers aren't happy. And here's another one. Oh, this one looks more bondagey, but it could be role playing as a member of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Yeah, but yeah, apparently mothers are up in arms. Okay, fair enough. I wouldn't know about it if it wasn't in the Daily Mail, you know. I wouldn't know about it. I wouldn't. And what else is there? The dog is making a noise. You awake? You're not even asleep. He's not even asleep. Yeah, his dog Cam. Anna's not very well. We've been back from the vet today, and next week she's going to have her teeth out. It's going to be very expensive, and I'm hoping that the pet insurance will cover it. But the dentist said, you're going to be paying, and this is where you start paying in well, not sweat, in cold hard cash. I would say send money now, but you know, people get upset. Yeah, get upset. I don't like it when I do that. Get very upset, very butthurt, it stings. It stings. It does. Meanwhile, this is a motorist who captured. This is on the A461 near Dudley in the West Midlands last week. A robbery suspect hurtling down the motorway, heading, well, it's an A road, in the wrong direction. Yeah, there you go, swerving all over the place to escape from him. I wonder if they brought him to justice. Probably not. Meanwhile, are you wondering why your packages are in a terrible condition? Well, video footage from Royal Mail of the Fulham delivery office, this is London, in London last Monday, so it's been a week ago, I guess, shows you just how caring they are with your packages. One package, two package, and yeah, just put it on. Oh, it's full. Oh, he's boxed it up. Now that explains why sometimes I send things out via eBay, and I have to end up paying the people because it's wankered because of him. Meanwhile, this is council chiefs have been slammed for wasting more than 10 grand's worth of taxpayers' money. Well, that's what they do. That's what councils do. This is a Worcester County Council who have created a new cycle lane, but the lane itself has loads of hazards in the way, like this speed camera and that bin, and of course the lamps. You know, I think they're looking at this the wrong way. This is what's known as an urban cycle route, and these are they're little challenges. You've got to think of it as a game, little challenge. You know, dodge the bin. No, see, no, people are not fun. It's just not fun anymore. It's not fun. No fun. She's really annoyed with me. Just think, this time, was it next Wednesday? No teeth. She won't be able to bite, but she can't give you a good suck. Yeah, dogs can't suck though. That joke doesn't work. What else have we got? Oh, that's not. Oh, this is a story. You know, people have solar panels, you know, in an attempt to, you know, save the planet. Well, this couple, Stacey Ducey and Jace Hogan, They spent 12 years renovating their property in Cheetham Hill in Manchester, making their home perfect. And they even, put solar panels on the roof, obviously, to help them with the bills and to save some money. But then, well, let's pull up the picture. Then this happened. There's a fire, and the fire has gutted the place. And here's the firemen clearing the home. Just before Christmas. Well, as you can see, this is their Christmas tree, and well, I guess that's where their Christmas tree would have been. And so their house has been completely gutted by a fire they reckon has been caused by solar panels. Yeah. But the fire inspectors are still investigating, but their initial reports are that a fault with the solar panels has caused the fire. Meanwhile, there's controversy in Truro. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Greggs is opening up shop there. Yep. Now, this happens 3 years after they attempted to make their way into Cornwall, and the Cornish didn't want them because they're very protective of the Cornish pasty. They don't like these grockles coming down and stirring things up. But the bakery giant, which has nearly 2,000 stores across the UK, is opening a new branch in Truro next month, 3 years after it was forced to withdraw, which was dubbed Grexit. Indeed. And it should be interesting to see, because the locals brand the company the Devil's Spawn. So I'm sure it's going to go down really well. It's not that bad. But I have to keep an eye on that one. There you go. What else have we got? Is there anything else going on here? There was let me just pull it up. There was, because it happened over the weekend. Do you follow Twits? Are you on the Twits? Are you? I don't know if Elon might have taken the tweet down. Let me have a look. Yes, he hasn't. Elon, our beloved leader over on in the Twits, who I think Elon's great. It's a big game for him. He restored Donald Trump's Twitter account after asking the public, and I voted. I want Donald back on because freedom of speech shouldn't be limited unless it's it should be limited by the laws of the country. A platform should be open, unless this person is I don't know, like Alex Jones, who's been actually convicted, of these crimes. Trump hasn't. Trump is innocent so far. And so his platform should be withdrawn if he's found guilty of whatever crimes they've accused him of. So anyway, we voted and it went 52-48, and I retweeted it and went, I've heard that figure somewhere before. It felt a bit familiar. But then days passed and Trump still hadn't gone near his Twitter account. So our beloved leader Elon, who's a wag, posted this tweet. You see, everyone thinks he's like pro-Trump and pro this and pro that, but he's not. He's trolling Trump in the most delightful way there, and it's a big game. You've got to remember, for Elon, it's just a big, giant game, But I wish people will realise it, and he won't let Alex Jones back on. So I'm just pulling up because there is a quote. Musk pointed out to Jones' denial of the Sandy Hook shootings. Yeah. He said, "My firstborn child died in my arms. I felt his last heartbeat." Right, because he he's referring to his son Nevada, who in 2002 died at 10 weeks old. And he said, "I have no mercy for anyone who would use the deaths of children for gain, politics or fame." And that's who Elon Musk is. And so that's the kind of people we need running these tech giants, you know. So yeah, good on Elon. Keep trolling, trolling. Ping. Someone's at the door. It's my new fryer. Somebody's at the door. And the phone's ringing. And the phone's ringing too. Hello? Oh, it's a bogus phone call. Oh, nobody there. Wow, there's something there for everything. There was the Amazon man with my new air fryer, which was in the Black Friday sale, and then the phone rang. It was a bogus call. What more do you want? It's wonderful, and we're getting on. Got out of breath then. A bit heavy, the air fryer, but yeah. So more news. Meanwhile, more court news. This is the story of a drugs trial, and Judge Jeremy Richardson, here is his face. Yes, there was a drugs trial going on at Sheffield Crown Court. This was last week. And Judge Jeremy Richardson adjourned proceedings for a week and said the trial would have to continue in person because the solicitor, right, there's a solicitor who was attending the trial remotely, right, broadcast loud and obvious pornography sounds. They were coming out of his computer. So he went, we're stopping this, and you're gonna have to come in. No more Zoom, no more Zoom justice. Remember, solicitors, don't watch porn whilst you're defending someone's case. I mean, really, there's got to be it's just not right. It's just not right. So we've been seeing many animals being attacked by other animals. You know, you've seen it with that. We've had rats being attacked by crows. You know, you've seen. Got a new one. This seems to be a theme now. This is a theme. What we've got here is it's magpie versus squirrel, which is a first. I've never seen a magpie go for a squirrel, and there's a lot of them around here. Squirrels, well, not as many as there used. Where have all the squirrels gone? Don't say they're looking for their nuts. But we used to have a really big population of squirrels, and they've just seemed to have disappeared in the last couple of years. I'm not doing that joke. I remember, I can see what joke you're thinking of. I'm not doing it. We did that one on Facebook. I didn't. One of my commentators did, and I realised my influence has been quite bad. But anyway, magpie versus squirrel. One for sorrow. See, it was magpie versus rat the other day, wasn't it? They're running amok. But yeah, this video was captured by Lena Copeland, and this was in her back garden on Nelson Road, on Stoke-on-Trent. And here she is. I don't know, you might want to tone down your makeup, love. She's an air hostess, apparently. But yeah, magpie versus squirrel. Who wins? You decide. Oh, I've nearly done my time. Nearly done my time. Meanwhile, we're going to end with this one. Right? Just waiting for it to load up. Talk amongst yourselves. This is bullshit. Come on, Daily Mail. This is a good. This is an animal. It's my. It's my way out of here. Here we go. Right, this is angler Andy Hackett, right? And he was fishing in France, and he pulled in. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, right? He was fishing in the Champagne region of France, and I think he deserves some champagne, for he caught this giant goldfish, affectionately known as the carrot, which weighs a whopping 67 pounds 4 ounces. Now that is a giant goldfish. We're going to need a bigger bigger bowl. Look at him. I don't know which one looks more surprised. I think it's the goldfish. He looks surprised, doesn't he? Yeah, a giant goldfish, and apparently they reckon it could be over 20 years old. And then he puts him back. Let me see him. Yeah, he was released back into the water and away. That's a reference to the fishing program. Yeah, away and away. So there you go, giant goldfish. And I think we'll end it there. I think I've done enough damage for the day. Is there anybody in the chat? God, no one's in today. There's only Luke. And Luke said he arrived. Are you talking about the? Did the CD arrive? Good. It got there. Told you, be patient. It got there. I'm pleased for you. Happy birthday, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. You know, and yeah, it's between me and Luke. But sometimes I do good things for people behind the scenes, and Luke got a present for his birthday. There you go. And that was the news. Thank you for watching. My name's been Darren Locke, killing the channel one video at a time. Where was everyone today? Where was everyone? I don't know. Maybe I just blocked everyone. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was it. That was the news. You better drink it up. Ta-ta.